Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic, debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see it. So let's get straight into this topic here. So today we have an excellent one, and it's going to be about the Houston Rockets and the Lakers. As you guys know, the Lakers are slated to play Houston in round one, and most of the people on ESPN have written the Lakers off. Stephen A. Smith thinks they're going to be swept. Iman Shumpert thinks they don't have a snowball's chance in hell of being competitive against the Lakers. I mean, the Houston Rockets. But apparently the coaches have a lot to say about this matchup. And I want to focus on some articles that we got here. So the first one is from heavy.com, where it says Lakers issued strong warning ahead of Rockets playoff series. Continues on. The Los Angeles Lakers beat the Houston Rockets in back-to-back games last month, which bodes well for their chances against Kevin Durant and co. in the first round of their upcoming playoff series. However, Rockets head coach Ime Udoka, issued a strong warning to Lakers, suggesting that the team has flipped the switch since their last encounter. So for those of you who didn't hear what Ime Udoka had to say, I want to play the sound for you now and then come back and continue on with the show.
Your opponent will be the Los Angeles Lakers. What are your initial thoughts about the matchup?
Yeah, I mean, starting with tonight, or like I said, even 15 games ago, we really wanted to focus on ourselves and, playing the right way regardless of that. Obviously, the seedings and how close it is, too tough to do anything or try to pick an opponent. But for us, obviously, it's fresh that we lost 2 games to them recently, and then kind of flipped the switch since then. Had a really good game against them on Christmas, and obviously know they're injured, but, quality players across the board. You saw that with Minnesota that had guys out or whatever the case may be. It's still the NBA, and they have some really great players there, and so we'll have our hands full.
You talked about those 2 recent games you played against LA. The double teams on Kevin were a big factor in those games. How much better do you feel like you guys are equipped to handle those now than you were in March?
Yeah, I think we're better, and getting our spacing and not turning the ball over. That's where the majority of the problems came from, was not even completing the pass out of them. But even before then, we had seen it quite a few times, and the numbers show we're really good against a double team. But it really hurt us in the fourth quarter at times, and so it seems like it goes with it. If we pick it apart early, teams don't do it as much. But when they have success with it, they do it more in the fourth, and that was a big part, was the turnovers there, or not making the right reads out of that. And we've been up and down at times this year, but had enough practice and seen enough that it'll be something that we know we'll see again.
Were y'all watching the end of that San Antonio-Denver game in the locker room post-game?
Yes.
And was your staff kind of preparing for both situations? Were you not going to dive into prep until it was settled? How did that work, I guess?
Well, obviously, bless you. Obviously, we know both opponents pretty well, and played against them and had some ups and downs with both, but some good things as well. And so we had prepped for both. But as a coaching staff, we'll give the guys a few days off here to rest up and recover, and we'll dive into LA tomorrow.
Coach, last year was your.
And then the article continues on. It says, injured Lakers ready for Rockets. As for the Lakers, they registered a 131-107 win against their regular season finale against the Utah Jazz to consolidate the 4th seed. J.J. Redick's team would have moved up to the 3rd seed if Denver Nuggets had lost to the San Antonio Spurs on the same night. However, Nikola Jokic and co prevailed, finishing as the 3rd seed. With Luka Doncic's grade 2 hamstring and Austin Reeves' grade 2 oblique strain expected to miss the first round series against Houston, LeBron James will shoulder a lot of the responsibility to keep the Lakers season alive. If the Lakers do escape Houston, they will face the mighty Thunder in the 2nd round. So you have that there. You heard from the coach. You heard from that. Now we have some other stuff that we want to get to here, and this is from Marcus Smart. It's from another article. It says, Marcus Smart claims facing Kevin Durant in the playoffs is a brutal experience. Continues on. It says, given the current position, the Lakers are set to face off against Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets. Although the Purple and Gold enjoyed a 2-1 record against the Rockets this year, Marcus Smart understood that facing Durant in the playoffs would be a challenge. When asked about what it's like to face Durant during the postseason, Smart said, brutal. It's brutal, man. I mean, dude is one of the greatest to play the game, and he moves like a guard with a big man's body. It's hard. It's definitely tough. But he's going to make it tough for us. We're going to make it tough for him. And then the article then goes on to say a few other things there. What are my thoughts about this? Well, look, guys. If things go as they should, Houston should be able to put away the Lakers in a maximum of 5 games. So for the Lakers, given the fact that they have home court, what they want to do is hold serve at home. If Houston is able to steal one of those games on the road to start off the season like a game 1, then it'll put the Lakers in jeopardy. That's number one. Number two, an outcome that must not happen. LeBron cannot afford to get swept again. LeBron needs to get at least one game. He cannot get swept again. If you are as good as your fans say that you are, right? If you've had as much honey thrown at you by LeBron fans, you got to be able to at least give me one game. Remember, you guys keep telling me that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan at the age of 40. Well, LeBron has an opportunity to do something here and prove to us that he's a better player. Statistically, he's not, because if you look at the various eras, it would prove that. LeBron, at the age of this age, is averaging over 4 threes a game. Jordan, when he was at 40, he was averaging less than a 3 a game. So it's a totally different game. League back then was averaging around 96 points per game versus this year where they averaging 115.6. So it's a totally different league, right? And we know that. Those of us that have sense are going to bring it up. Those that like to distort the conversation and act like as if that never happened, they're never going to bring that up. But anyway, you guys keep telling me he's the GOAT. He better show me something. Because Ime Udoka and these guys are 100% ready. And I think Ime Udoka is a better coach than JJ Redick, 100%. 100%. Ime Udoka has already proven to be a better coach than JJ Redick. So it's clear to see. Look at the job he did with the turnaround with the Boston Celtics, where they went from a team that was just kind of in the middle of the pack, floating around, and then he made them the number one defense in the Western Conference, in the Eastern Conference. Then they stifled Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and these guys in round one, and back in 2021. And then you go and look at what he's done with the Houston Rockets. So the guy is a fantastic coach. I think he's a better coach than JJ Redick. And JJ is going to have to really show that he can step up to the plate here, because Ime Udoka is coming to coach, right? And JJ is going to have to show a lot more emotional maturity than he did last year when he was snapping at reporters and all of that and pulling off boneheaded plays like playing his entire starting five the entirety, I think, of the second half. So JJ is going to have to do a little bit a better job with matchups, different lineups, and all that, and improvising. That's one of the things that makes Tyronn Lue one of the best coaches in the NBA, because he can adjust better than probably anyone in the NBA in terms of adjustments. Tyronn Lue is at the top of the shelf, right? So this is going to be a good series. Obviously, you have big name players in LeBron James and Kevin Durant. This is going to be the first time they faced off since 2018. One of those years. I can't remember. One of those years. So this series does have a lot of big stars, right? But if things go as they should, Houston should definitely win this series. It would be a major upset if the Lakers found a way to somehow to choke away this series. I doubt that's going to happen, but that's why they have the games. And that's why they have to play them and we have to watch them. So these are my thoughts on it. The question to the audience is very simple. Who wins this series and in how many games? Leave them in the comments.